Okay, you're gonna want to watch your step here. Don't knock over this bucket of plastic angels I got. Yeah, you know, I just keep getting stuff from flea markets and the garage sales and the like, you know. Hey, I'd love to show you my AC/DC shot glass collection, but I don't know where it is right now. And this over here, I got this whole mess here at a flea market from the 80s, I think it was. No, it might have been the 60s now that I think of it. I'm not sure anymore, you know. It's really hard to keep track of it. I'm a collector. It's the thing I do. But anyway, so, come to turn out, it's these movies, all these old movies I got. Okay, look, I'm a gym coach from Henderson, Minnesota, home of sauerkraut days. But the History Channel, they come and tell me that I've been sitting on one of the greatest historical film archives ever discovered. So, here I am. I'm Roy Hoo-Haas.
Nearly a quarter of a century after the Great World War that was to end all wars, foreign nations are once more menaced by the terrors of war. And so again today, legions overseas are marching to destruction.
Well, we have no idea how these particular films ended up at a yard sale in the outlands of Minnesota, where they came from, who owned them. But these particular films contained actual documentation of events that were only once rumors. We historians are particularly excited about heretofore unverified attempts at crypto communication during WWII, one of the lesser known wars.
America's legions, too, march again, but now forward, ever forward, in a mighty pageant of patriotism and peace.
Now, the U.S. was ramping up its war effort, and the military was searching for unconventional ways to get coded messages to their allies, much like the infamous Indian code talkers. Now, the code talkers used obscure languages to transmit information. What better way to foil the Nazis? Now, we'd only heard about one method they tried, spelling out messages using intricate formations of people. All this was just an exciting hunch. And then one of the world's leading forensic film analysts examined it.
Yeah. The brass, or suits, hatched a plan to spell out words in parade formation. Now, this message was intended for operatives along the parade route, but we slowed the film down and watch. You can clearly see various letters in the secret message being spelled out by the marchers. Imagine how long it would take to spell out Germany's plans to annex Poland without raising suspicion. In this fashion. Would take a long time, is my point. Then, right here, a group goes completely off topic and forgets what letter they're supposed to spell out.
Well, by that time, it was too late. It was urgent that the War Brain Trust come up with a different method. So they tried telekinesis, they tried baking notes in cakes, dolls on turtles, even flat out telling the Germans in straightforward, plain language what they were planning to do in a reverse psychology ploy. And then came the Cowboy Coder project. The country was desperate. Marshall's people managed to track down a cowboy in far-off Pawhuska, Oklahoma, who, it was rumored, could spell out words with his lariat. Well, Smilin' Bill Crowder was recruited on the spot. He wasn't even allowed to say goodbye to his horse.
Now, Bill is this cowboy guy who's been rejected by the Army on a 7 SBL, severe bowed legs, but no way was this guy going to sit out the war.
Now, General Marshall sends Smiling Bill and his wife, Mrs. Smiling Bill, into Berlin. This is 1939, and they are supposedly touring nightclubs. Sort of a goodwill gesture, but it was only cover for the project.
So these cowboy coders embed their message directly into their rope language. It goes out directly to the cabaret audience, which is filled with operatives, and no one is ever the wiser. But it didn't exactly go without a hitch. Smilin' Bill wasn't that good of a speller, so Madge had to jump in and take over. Women are usually better spellers anyway. But it worked.
The cowboy coding project was a particular success. We can only guess that it shortened the war by months, if not years. But it was not perfect. Well, the pressure of the mission eventually proved too much for the couple, and their struggles made their way onto the stage. And finally, there was an episode.
Yeah, the U.S. immediately halted the project after kind of a gruesome incident. Smilin' Bill lost control of his rope and accidentally hanged several audience members.
President Roosevelt denied the program even existed, but some people in particular, knew all about the project.
My name is Dick Richardson, but I call myself Smirkin' Bill Crowder after my grandfather. I'm his progeny, his only living grandchild. Now, my grandparents were both dead before I was even born, but the family legend talks about what great American heroes they were, bona fide. Even though after the incident, their careers didn't end so well. But after they hung up their spurs, meaning they died, I inherited the ranch and the ropes and the whole kit and caboodle. So I have a rope. Would you like to see some fancy cowboy roping? You want to see some groping?
Okay.
Watch this, lady. Are you getting it? It's spelling A, B. I'll tell you something about this rope. It spells by itself, and what I learned was a deep, dark secret. This rope is a racist. Now, my grandpa wasn't the only one that could help with the war effort. I am a patriot, and if my country needs me to open up a can of whoop-ass, I am the man. I can juggle, I can yodel, I can ride this unicycle. I can ride this unicycle behind enemy lines. Remember the album. You can do it, it ain't bragging.
Thanks, Steve. That's a wrap.
I can rap too.
The heck? What the? Boy, huh? Wow. Imagine that happening to some people sometime. Well, it's just one of the many histories buried in the mysteries of all of these cans of film I got here. There are plenty more of these hidden gems to come, so join me, Roy Hujas, just a gym teacher from northern Minnesota, next time on America Obscuria. I got the name wrong, didn't I? Darn it.